All right, so come on in, and would you look at this on your screen right now? On one side, a live look at the White House. On the other side, screen right, that is a live look at Eagle Pass, Texas. And for the first time in quite some time, we can tell you that the White House is taking action, in one form at least. Remember, the administration earlier this year had been arguing this.
Will you testify under oath right now? Do we have operational control, yes or no?
Yes, we do. And
we have operational control of the borders.
Yes, we do.
But after record encounters in the recent months, topped by record numbers in the recent days, the White House today announced that President Biden spoke with Mexico's president and the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, and who you just heard from there, the DHS Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas. They'll be heading to Mexico in the coming days. NewsNation's Kelly Meyer asked the White House just a little while ago, why now?
Well, we're seeing a significant increase in the migratory flow coming across Mexico up towards the southern border, certainly in recent weeks. And we want to be able to address that as a team in cooperation with Mexico and explore ways that, we can get at stemming that flow.
A lot of movement today. Hello to you all. By the way, the House Speaker Mike Johnson will speak to Ron Johnson. The House Speaker Mike Johnson sent a letter to the president today saying, we got to go. We need some executive actions. Let's go start doing some things. Some movement today. Too little, too late. Mick from the White House. Welcome to the game. How do you see it? Not that it's a game, but
it's never too little, too late. It's the right thing to do. It's better to do it now than never do it. Right. The problem they have is that whatever they do here is going to look, sound, feel a lot like what Trump might have done or might have been doing. They're going to be really hard pressed to do an executive action. You certainly can't declare a national emergency. That's what Donald Trump would do. It's the right thing to do to talk to the Mexican president because cooperation between the two countries is integral to what we're trying to accomplish. But again, that's what Trump would do. Like we talked about yesterday, the Democrats are uncomfortable here because this is not their issue. Ordinarily, they would ignore it because it would only matter to Republican voters. Now it matters to Democrat voters as well, and they're trying to get their footing under them at this late date.
Well, it matters to all of us, actually, when you see these pictures.
Sure.
And, going to meet with the Mexican president, I got to tell you, I've argued against that. I argued that they came no matter what. Even under Trump, they just housed them in Mexico. Mm-hmm. One of the options on the table politically and literally is probably housing them or keeping them in Mexico until their process. Gosh, I sound like a Republican, I know.
That's the remain.
Well, that's kind of one of the options. Why would you go to Mexico?
So let's hit the pause button for a second because the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, sent a letter to President Biden today, and here's what he said in that letter. He said, quote, the crisis at our southern border has deteriorated to such an extent that significant action can wait no longer. It must start now, and it must start with you. And here is what he is calling on the president to do. End catch and release, grant parole on a case-by-case basis, expand expedited removals, reinstitute the remain in Mexico policy, and resume border wall construction. Are you comfortable with that?
No. I think the Speaker might have been absent from the negotiations that have been going on in the Senate. These are actually items that they're trying to work out. One thing that he may want to realize is Congress needs to act on this. The president can't do it alone. Yes, the president can take some executive actions, but
he's calling on the president to do it.
He should be.
It's a weird time in Washington. You got the Republican House Speaker telling the Democratic president, "Get your pen out and sign some EOs, executive orders."
Calling on his caucus to start negotiating with the Democrats and the Republicans in the Senate who have been working on this for weeks.
But House Republicans
and stay in negotiations
have passed the bill, HR 2, 6
House
months ago.
Republicans passed an extreme bill that even Donald Trump would blush at.
That is not true.
But
at least it was a starting point, and the Senate didn't even start the starting point until the Republicans said we're not going to pass Ukraine and Israel funding.
Even Republicans in the Senate wouldn't take up HR 2. Even the Republicans in the Senate don't want that.
HR 2 was dead on arrival.
Is it possible? Yes. It was, but I mean, that's how it's supposed to work. The House passes a bill, Senate passes a bill. That's just, that's schoolhouse rock, right? But is what this letter is really admitting is, look, there's a chance that the Senate can't do anything. They left. They were here all week. They tried to cut a deal. They've not made any progress. And maybe nothing gets done out of it.
You think that's a real possibility?
I think it's a real possibility.
Yeah. Nothing gets done like anytime soon or period?
I don't.
Legislatively, I bet you, period.
It's been 40 years since we passed immigration reform.
I think the executive action that he's suggesting also is sending more troops to the border. Now, the Mexican president's not going to like that, and it depends on where they're stationed, on our side or Mexico's side.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.